Since humanity launched Voyager 1 into space, we've dreamed of finding life beyond our solar system. But what if what we find out there doesn't come in peace? What if a squad of soldiers woke up trapped in an unknown ship, not knowing how they got there, or what kind of creatures stalk them in the shadows? Alien technology, hidden horrors, and a destiny that will change the future of Earth. So today we're going to watch the movie called Osiris. In 1977, the Voyager 1 space probe took the first photograph of the Earth-Moon system from a distance of 1.6 million kilometers. In 1979, it flew over Io, one of Jupiter's moons, and discovered volcanic activity on its surface. In 1980, it passed near Saturn. In 2012, Voyager 1 exited our solar system and entered interstellar space. Meanwhile, on Earth, a group of American soldiers was in the middle of a mission in a dangerous war zone. Two enemies nearly ambushed them, but they reacted quickly and took them out. As bombs exploded in the distance, the team kept moving, eliminating any threat that got too close. They climbed some stairs to reach a balcony, where the snipers took positions to fire from above. The rest of the team swept the building to eliminate every hostile in their path. Dozens of enemies fell one by one without mercy until the place was cleared. Then the squad went back out to the street and saw fighter jets flying over the city as they kept gunning down enemies. Unfortunately, when turning a corner, they ran into a fully armed enemy squad already waiting for them. The group charged and joined the firefight. But no matter how many they dropped, the enemy numbers were too great to win. They decided to retreat. However, as they began to fall back, one soldier was shot and Rhodey had to carry him. No one stopped shooting as they ran, looking for cover anywhere they could while taking down more enemies. Rhodey wanted to tend to his friend's wound, but he had to keep firing to protect himself. When he finally checked it, the soldier was already dead. Another enemy squad approached, and the team found themselves cornered at the end of the street. They used the radio to try to call for help. Suddenly, the area went completely dark, and a red light appeared among thick clouds in the sky. Both teams stared in awe as the light revealed a mysterious machine that fired a beam, wiping out the entire enemy squad in one shot. Then the light turned white and charged for a few seconds before unleashing a massive electrical discharge. The blast hit the American soldiers and dragged them into the machine, where an alien immobilized them to conduct experiments. The soldiers saw flashes of their past lives during their last battle before losing consciousness. Sometime later, the team awoke frozen inside a strange device. Suddenly, the machine shut down and the soldiers woke up as they were ejected. It took them a moment to recover as they vomited the liquid from their lungs. Jax recognized it as stasis resin, which should dissolve quickly, though he didn't know how he had that knowledge. The team didn't know where they were and thought maybe the Russians or Chinese had captured them. But the writing on the machines wasn't from Earth. Reyes found a plaque with their names and unit designations, but he also didn't know how he recognized that. All their weapons were fully loaded, and the last thing they remembered was the firefight on the street followed by the beam. Their leader, Kelly, said they had to move before their captor found them. At the end of the hallway was a large circular door, but the button didn't open it. The soldiers worked together to pry it open manually. After moving down another corridor, they found a second door that had been ripped off its track. Rhodey spotted a vent in the wall and sent Reyes to investigate. With a flashlight in his mouth, Reyes crawled through the duct and found several paths, so he picked the one that still had a bit of light. Eventually, he found another hatch and came out the other side. He reported back to the team, who also entered the duct to join him. A closer look at the door from that side showed burn marks and impact dents, as if someone had tried to force their way in. The place seemed like a labyrinth, and Nash thought they might be in a secret underwater prison. Suddenly, strange noises echoed, so they pressed on to investigate. In the next hallway, they found a trail of blood on the floor. There was also a clamp on the wall indicating a power failure. That meant the facility must be collapsing, which could explain why the machine shut down and released them. The next room had mist on the floor. A drop of blood fell on Raya's face, and when she looked up, she saw a cluster of headless bodies hanging upside down. Kelly led Gibbs and Reyes into the next room, where another mutilated body was hanging over a strange table. There was also a woman handcuffed named Robbie, who woke up speaking another language. The soldiers pulled a lever to release her. At that moment, a monstrous alien appeared in front of Gibbs and slashed him with its massive claws before throwing him across the room. In the previous chamber, Nash found a weapon with a strange design. The trio heard the chaos and ran to help, opening fire. Their regular bullets didn't seem to affect the alien's armor, and the creature took down the three soldiers with a single blow. When Kelly tried to shoot, the alien quickly disarmed him and grabbed him by the throat, staring at him for a second before throwing him too. While the alien attacked Jax, Nash passed the strange weapon to Rhodey, who finally managed to activate it and fired at the enemy, bringing it down. The soldiers thought it was dead and approached, but the alien roared. To their surprise, Robbie stepped in and finished it off with a shot. She then said something they didn't understand before walking away. The group followed after realizing Gibbs was dead. In the next corridor, Kelly surprised Robbie by speaking her language. Another alien appeared nearby, and Kelly opened fire while shouting at the others to run. The alien also had a laser gun and fired instantly, injuring Robbie. Soon, a whole squad of monsters appeared behind him and opened fire too. The men helped Robbie and ran as fast as they could. A chase broke out with both sides firing constantly as they moved. The soldiers found cover in the next corridor, and when Robbie saw an opening, she pulled a lever to seal the door. Kelly wedged a knife between the door and wall to lock it, and told Jax to go with Robbie and find an exit. The aliens began pounding the door, and the soldiers backed off, knowing it wouldn't hold long. Jax and Robbie found a shaft full of wires and climbed it to reach a duct. Reyes told the others to follow the pair and stayed behind to buy time. When the door finally opened, Reyes shot the first alien and brought it down, making the door close again. However, the rest of the monsters pushed through and chased after him, so Reyes ran for the shaft too. When he reaches the vent, an alien grabs his leg and drags him out. A second creature sticks its head in, and Rhodey immediately blows it off. The team finally finds an exit and pushes aside some metal beams to enter a room. When they learn that Reyes is dead, Nash panics and screams after having seen the aliens. Kelly calms him down before asking Rhodey why he knows how to use the laser weapon, but Rhodey doesn't remember. Jax tries to treat Robbie's wound. However, she insists she's fine. Her words are translated by Kelly, who has no idea why he can understand Russian. He tries to ask her some questions, and she calls the men sleepers before confirming that the monsters are aliens. After explaining that they are on a spaceship, Robbie reveals she can speak English and tells the team they must get to safety. Nash keeps losing control, and Rhodey has to threaten him to make him settle down. Robbie interrupts and reminds them they have to keep moving. Meanwhile, the aliens mutilate Reyes using a device that allows them to view his memories and learn everything the team knows. Following what it saw in those memories, the alien reaches the bent door and activates a device on its wrist. In one of the hallways, Robbie explains that the scarred alien is the leader and that he has dozens of monsters helping him. She also reveals there are motion sensors embedded in the walls, and the alien's objective is to gather food. When they enter the next room, they find themselves on a bridge above a void, surrounded by thousands of lights. Jax looks closer and realizes they aren't light bulbs. They're capsules with bodies inside. Robbie calls them sleepers and insists they must move on. They rest in the next hallway so Kelly can change Robbie's bandage. They talk about their lives before the war, and Kelly shares that he's a divorced father. Nash begins to wonder whether the creatures are demons instead of aliens, and if they're experiencing the biblical rapture. Minutes later, the team finds a hangar filled with containers. Ravi explains that they hold all the items the aliens stole from Earth. Rhodey finds it strange that the aliens haven't attacked and theorizes they're being funneled into a trap. Kelly agrees and announces that they'll fight, ignoring Robbie when she says it's a bad idea. Jax volunteers as bait and heads into the corridor where he starts singing. The aliens follow the sound of his voice and Jax opens fire immediately. After a few shots to keep their attention, he starts running. The aliens chase after him, still firing their laser weapons. Jax occasionally turns back to fire, doing little damage but keeping them enraged. Eventually, Jax reaches the hangar, where he continues taunting the creatures so they'll follow. When the monsters arrive at a dead end, Nash shoots one in the head from his sniper position. Then the rest of the team surrounds the aliens and opens fire, taking them down one by one. When it's over, Robbie points out that it was too easy and fears it's a trap. At that moment, another alien squad enters the hangar. The team opens fire immediately, but not even Nash can land a shot. This time, the aliens carry heavy-duty shields. Everyone starts running and Nash jumps from container to container to rejoin the group. They sprint toward the door as fast as they can, but unfortunately, Jax takes a shot to the back and dies instantly. Nash, devastated, screams and shoots the killer in the head for revenge. The 4 survivors run out of the hangar and enter a hallway where they take cover to keep firing for a while, until Robbie finds the lever that shuts the door. More aliens are coming from the other side, so the team escapes through a hatch in the wall. They slide through a tunnel and drop into a pool filled with skeletons and rotting flesh. The stench is so strong it makes some of them vomit. When Nash begins to lose his composure, Kelly has to silence him. The conversation is interrupted by a voice from above. Ravi looks up and is shocked to see her mother, Anya, who immediately throws down a rope. Ravi climbs up and the 2 women reunite with a hug. The soldiers use the rope too, and Kelly notices Anya's uniform, which reveals she's a Russian soldier. Anya guides the group through the halls, always avoiding the wall sensors. She leads them to a trap door in the floor, and they descend into a basement where Anya locks the entrance. All the walls are decorated with artwork. Kelly tells her how his team woke up, and Anya explains that it used to be a trophy room. They only managed to escape because the machine malfunctioned. She's lost track of time since being abducted, but believes she's been there for 20 or 30 years. The soldiers realize Ravi was born on the ship. Then Anya reveals that there was an invasion. Voyager 1 carried a map meant to invite friendly aliens to Earth. Unfortunately, these evil creatures found it and used it to invade. First, they abducted the world's top military strategists and connected their devices to human minds to gather intel, meaning the soldiers were also frozen inside the machine for decades. All the strange nightmares they experienced were war simulations created by the aliens to study how humanity fought. This allowed them to crush Earth in just a few weeks. The mental link worked both ways, which explains why the soldiers also learned some things in return. Anya calls that receiving gifts. This ship is transporting all the spoils of war to the aliens' homeworld. It was Robbie's father who sabotaged the reactor and caused the machines to fail. Normally, Anya doesn't share space with the sleepers. That's how she survived this long. However, her team died during the sabotage mission, and now she needs the soldiers' help. Anya's gift allows her to hear the creatures from afar and understand what they say, and she knows they're trying to fix the communications transmitter. If they manage to contact their homeworld, more aliens will come, so they must stop them. The soldiers take a break, and Nash comments that they'll never make it back home. Kelly looks at a photo of his daughter and realizes she must be around 40 years old if she's still alive, which makes Rhodey think about his kids too. The team decides they want to fight and makes a plan with Anya. They estimate there are about 24 aliens left and that the command center is on the upper deck, where they're strongest. The ducts could take them there, although the aliens will detect them immediately. Luckily, Anya has a stash of explosives they can use. The group crawls through the ducts until they reach the upper deck. Rhodey and Kelly agree to distract the aliens while Nash and the women plant the explosives. Anya also gives Kelly a stolen wristband that will let him use a shield. The group splits up, and Nash's team soon reaches the main room, where they observe the alien guards from a balcony. In the hallway, Kelly and Rhodey find a sensor covered in blood, so they look for another one. Soon, an alien receives the alert on his wristband. Kelly even shoots the sensor to provoke the enemy. The guards in the main room are called away, allowing Nash's team to move out. While he keeps watch, The women install the explosives. Kelly and Rhodey hide as they hear the guards approaching and wait for the right moment to shoot them from behind. Reinforcements arrive quickly and open fire, so Kelly activates the shield, allowing him and Rhodey to keep fighting. One alien grabs a comrade to use as a shield and charges forward, forcing the men to retreat. They hide in another hallway, and the firefight continues. However, one of the aliens detects something on his wristband and sends half his team in another direction. In the main room, Anya hears the aliens coming. Kelly and Rhodey call her to warn her of the same thing while still stuck in the shootout. But there's no way for the trio to escape. When Kelly crosses the door, Rhodey closes it behind him and tells him to rescue the others while he holds the aliens back. Rhodey then goes all out against the enemies, firing his laser weapon until it runs out of power. He switches to his regular gun and charges one of the creatures, which lifts him above the shield. Rhodey is slammed into the wall before the alien looks closely at his face. He takes advantage of the moment to drop 2 grenades, triggering a massive explosion in the hallway that kills him and the aliens around him. The other half of the alien squad reaches the main room, and the humans open fire to take down as many as possible. At first, they do well, but more shielded aliens arrive. Anya makes Robbie leave and asks Nash to protect her. A larger alien shows up and opens fire, hitting Anya. Ravi screams for her mother, and Nash has to drag her away when he sees Anya pull out the detonator. The explosives go off, and the blast destroys the entire room, bringing down the massive machine and all the surrounding aliens. In the hallway, Nash sees more creatures coming and tells Robbie to hide in a hatch. He then starts shouting as he runs so the aliens will follow him and not notice the girl. He stops in a dead end and begins to sing the same song Jax used. Nash takes down as many aliens as he can and wonders if he should trigger his explosives too. However, he's determined to survive, so he pulls his weapon again. When no more sounds can be heard, Robbie comes out, only to find an alien dangerously close. Meanwhile, Kelly is stunned to find a room full of humans locked in cells, begging for help. When he turns around, an alien hits him and knocks him out. He dreams of his daughter, happy on Earth, until aliens suddenly abduct her too. When Kelly wakes up, he's in one of the cells. Robbie is in the one next to him and has to tell him the others didn't survive. The aliens enter the room and grab Kelly by the neck, slamming him into the wall. Then they drag him down the corridors and take him to the strange table from before, where they hang him upside down. The alien grabs a blade and prepares to strike. But at that moment it sees that Nash is hiding inside the table. With a single shot to the head, Nash kills the creature. The duo then moves down the hallway, eliminating any aliens they encounter. They reach the cells, and Kelly unlocks them to free the prisoners. More monsters approach, so Nash opens fire with a laser weapon, taking down one after another. Once all the prisoners are out, the soldiers seal the door and escape with Ravi. Soon, the aliens catch up, so the trio hides behind a wall and fires back. The humans are running out of bullets, so Nash tosses his grenade-filled belt, and Kelly shuts the door to prevent the explosion from reaching them. Nash leans against another door, celebrating their victory, until he's suddenly stabbed by a blade. The alien leader enters the room, so Kelly tells Robbie to run before provoking the creature to focus on him. He also picks up a blade and begins fighting the enemy, who knocks him down again and again with brutal blows. The alien even throws Kelly into the ceiling before hurling its weapon at him, which Kelly manages to dodge. Then the alien activates its shield and starts hitting with that too. After a couple of blows, the monster grabs its sword and charges at Kelly. The soldier waits for the creature to step through the door and then slams it shut, trapping its body and killing it. Seconds later, Kelly reunites with Robbie, who is too scared to move. Kelly takes the first step and she follows him, only to discover they are back on Earth, now transformed into a post-apocalyptic desert. Hope you enjoyed the video.